The evening market on the alien-human station was always loud, but tonight the sounds felt harsh and painful to her ears. The alien mother, thin like a shadow, walked slowly between the food stalls. Her steps were weak, almost silent. Her skin looked pale, her eyes tired, and her clothes were torn in many places. Anyone who looked at her could see she had not eaten properly for many days. But no one looked at her. No one wanted to. She kept her head down, hoping nobody would notice her. She was not allowed here. She knew it. Beggars were chased away, punished, and sometimes even beaten. But she had no choice. Her child, a small alien boy, held her hand tightly. His stomach growled again and again, and she felt her heart breaking every time she heard it. She whispered to him, "Just a little more. Maybe someone will help." But even she did not believe her own words. They stopped behind a food stall, where a human father and his little daughter were eating dinner. The smell of warm bread and soft-cooked vegetables filled the air. The alien mother tried not to breathe too deeply. She did not want her son to smell the food. He would suffer more if he did. But she made a mistake. Her eyes lifted for a second. Just 1 second. She saw the human girl smiling, eating happily, her plate full, and in that 1 second, the human father noticed her. He saw the mother's hollow cheeks. He saw the boy's trembling legs. He saw the way her eyes locked on the food, not with greed, but with pain. She realized he had seen her. Panic shot through her body. She quickly looked away, grabbed her child's arm, and whispered, "Come, we must go before they shout at us." She turned to leave. Her legs shook. She felt shame burning inside her. She did not want her child to see her like this, begging with her eyes. But the human father stood up. "Wait," he said. His voice was calm, but the market heard it. Heads turned. Eyes followed. The alien mother froze. Her heart raced so fast she could barely breathe. Her child hid behind her leg. People whispered, "Why is he calling her? Humans are too soft. She doesn't deserve help. She's trouble." The alien mother slowly looked up. She expected anger, disgust, or fear. That was what she always received, but the human father looked worried. "Are you all right?" he asked. She swallowed. Her throat was dry like dust. No words came out. She only nodded quickly, hoping he would stop asking questions. She wanted to run. She wanted to disappear. She wanted to protect her son from more humiliation, but her legs would not move. He glanced at her child, who looked even weaker than she did. The little boy's eyes were glassy, tired, unfocused. The human father felt something twist inside his chest. His daughter tugged on his sleeve and whispered, "Dad, can they sit with us?" The alien mother's breath caught. Her child looked up with fear, thinking guards would come any moment to push them away. She tried to apologize. "I'm sorry. We didn't mean to disturb." Her voice broke. Her knees suddenly bent as her strength gave way. She almost fell. The human father acted quickly. He stepped forward and held her arm so she wouldn't collapse. The market gasped. No one touched beggars. No one helped them stand. "Careful," he said softly. The alien mother felt a strange warmth. No one had spoken to her with kindness for a very long time. She tried to pull away, embarrassed, but she was too weak. "It's okay," he said again. But the moment did not stay peaceful for long. A harsh sound echoed across the market. Heavy boots. Angry voices. The station guards. Their armor shone under the bright lamps as they walked straight toward her. The alien mother froze again. She whispered to her child, "Hide, don't move." Her eyes filled with fear, not for herself, but for the little boy behind her. The guards pointed at her. "There she is. She's not allowed here." She escaped from the labor zone. The market crowd stepped back. Everyone wanted distance. Everyone wanted safety. Everyone wanted the problem to belong to someone else. The human father stayed still. He did not step away. He did not drop her arm. The alien mother's heart pounded as the guards approached, ready to drag her away. But then, the human father tightened his grip on her arm. The guards shouted, "Human! Step aside!" He did not move, and in that moment, the alien mother looked at him with wide eyes, wondering why a stranger would risk anything for her. The suspense grew as the guards came closer, ready for conflict. And the human father finally said 3 words that shocked the entire market. "I saw everything." The guards stopped only a few steps away from the human father, their boots loud against the metal floor. The alien mother held her child tightly, her hands shaking. She expected the guards to pull them away instantly. That was the rule. That was always what happened, but the human father did not move. He stood between the guards and the starving mother, like a wall that refused to break. One of the guards, a tall alien with dark armor, stepped forward and growled, "Human, step aside. She is a problem. She is forbidden here." The father looked straight into his eyes. "She is hungry," he said calmly. "That is not a crime." The crowd murmured behind them. A few laughed. A few whispered, "Foolish human." Others watched in silence, too afraid to get involved. The alien mother lowered her head, her voice small and trembling. "Please, don't argue with them because of me. They will hurt you. They will hurt my child." But the father shook his head. "You did nothing wrong." His little daughter stood beside him, holding his sleeve. She was scared, but her eyes were full of sympathy. She looked at the alien boy hiding behind his mother's leg. His hands were thin, his eyes empty, and his tiny body shivered. The guards snapped. She was seen begging in forbidden areas. She escaped from labor duty. She must be taken back. The alien mother felt tears coming. She whispered, "My body was too weak. I could not lift the heavy machines. They threw me out. I tried to find food for my son. I did not steal. I only looked. Only looked." But the guards didn't care. The human father stepped forward. His voice was low but strong. "Look at her. She is barely standing. What danger is she to you?" The tall guard laughed harshly. "Humans always think they can fix everyone. But this is not your problem. Move aside." The father didn't move. His daughter whispered, "Dad, please help them." He nodded slowly. "I will." The alien mother felt her heart twist. Why? Why would a stranger care? In her world, kindness was rare. Kindness was almost impossible. Yet this human stood here, facing armed guards. For someone he didn't even know, the guard raised his weapon slightly, not to shoot, but to intimidate. The father stayed silent. He didn't flinch. The second guard, shorter but angrier, shouted, "If you interfere, we will report you." Humans must follow station rules too. The father replied, "I know the rules. I also know what's right." The alien mother shook her head desperately. "Please, stop. They will take you away too. My suffering is normal. Don't ruin your life for me." But the father turned to her and said very softly, "Your suffering is not normal. It is wrong." She looked at him with wide eyes, confused, like she had never heard such words before. The crowd kept watching. No one stepped forward. No one helped. They wanted to see what happened next, but none had the courage to join him. The smaller guard ordered, "Enough talking. Move." He grabbed the alien mother's arm roughly. Her child screamed, "Mama!" and pulled on her clothes, trying to hold her. She stumbled forward, her legs weak, her tears falling. The father reached out quickly and grabbed her other arm, stopping the guard. His voice became firm. "Let go of her." The guard's face hardened. "You are going too far, human." The father said, "She did not steal. She did not harm anyone. She only looked at food because she is starving. That is not a reason to punish a mother and her child. The tall guard growled, "We don't care." She broke the rules. The father stepped between them again. His daughter moved behind him, afraid but trusting him completely. The market became silent. Even the vendors stopped working. Everyone felt the tension rising like a storm. The alien mother stared at the father, her voice shaking. "Why? Why do you stand for us?" He answered simply, "Because someone must." The tall guard clenched his jaw. "Fine, if you want to protect her, then you take responsibility. Feed her, shelter her, keep her from causing trouble. But remember, if she breaks any rule again, you will pay too." The father nodded without hesitation. "I accept." The alien mother gasped. Her knees almost gave out again. She whispered, "No. You cannot. You do not even know my name." He smiled softly. "I don't need your name to know you deserve help." The guards released her roughly and stepped back. The father guided her gently to the table. His daughter pulled out a small chair for the alien. "Boy," the alien mother watched as the human girl placed her own food in front of her son. "No child should go hungry." The little girl said. The alien mother covered her mouth with her hand, tears streaming freely now. She had never seen such kindness. Not from her own race. Not from her own neighbors. Not from anyone. As the guards walked away, the human father sat down with them and said, "Eat, rest. You are safe now." But he didn't know the truth. They were safe for now. But the guards weren't finished with them, and the next move they planned would change everything. The alien mother sat at the small table with shaking hands, unable to believe that real food was placed in front of her and her child. The human girl smiled warmly at them, pushing the plate closer. The little alien boy looked at the meal with wide, unsure eyes, as if he thought it was a dream that might disappear. "Go on," the human father said gently. "Eat." The boy slowly lifted a piece of bread. The moment he tasted it, his eyes filled with tears. He ate fast, his small hands trembling. The mother tried to stop him, afraid he would choke, but he whispered, "Mama, it's warm." She lowered her head, covering her face as she wept silently. She had forgotten what warm food smelled like, but peace never lasted long in this market. Only a few steps away, the guards watched them, their faces hard, their eyes cold. They didn't like what they were seeing, a human protecting someone they considered worthless. The tall guard muttered, "He thinks he can save everyone." The shorter guard replied, "Let him try. He will regret it." Their boots echoed as they walked away slowly, but with purpose. The father noticed them leaving. A small tension appeared on his face, but he forced himself to stay calm. He didn't want to frighten the mother or her child. After a few minutes, he sat down in front of her and asked softly, "How long since you last ate?" The alien mother wiped her tears and whispered, 2 days. Maybe 3. I lost count. I worked in a factory. They removed me when I became too weak. No one feeds the useless. He frowned deeply. "You are not useless. You are a mother." She looked at him with surprise, like he had spoken a language she had never heard before. Her voice trembled. "We tried to search for food in the trash areas, but the guards chased people away. They beat some. They said if they see me again, they will take my child." The human father looked at her child. The boy was still eating slowly, silently, like someone afraid the food might vanish. Then he said something he didn't plan. Something that came from the heart. "You're safe with us now." But safety was fragile. Just as he said that, the tall guard returned, with more guards behind him. Their armor clanked loudly. The people around the market stepped aside quickly, understanding trouble was coming. The alien mother froze. Her spoon fell from her hand. Her son grabbed her arm, terrified. The human father stood up immediately. His daughter followed, hiding behind him but refusing to leave. The tall guard smirked. "So, you think you can protect her?" The father didn't speak. He placed himself between the guards and the mother again. The crowd formed a circle around them, whispering nervously. Some watched with curiosity. Some with fear. Some with silent hatred. The guard's voice rose loudly on purpose, so everyone could hear. "This woman is an escaped labor worker. She owes service. She broke the rules. And you human, you are interfering with station law." The alien mother's knees buckled, but she caught herself. She whispered, "Please, don't take him. Take me only." But the shorter guard laughed. "Your child belongs to the station now. If you cannot work, he will be placed somewhere he can." The mother let out a broken cry, pulling her child close with desperate force. The father's jaw tightened. "That is slavery," he said sharply. The tall guard stepped forward, his armor shining under the bright lights. "Call it whatever you want. It is the law." "No," the human father answered. "It is cruelty." The guard raised his hand, signaling the others. "Take the woman." The mother screamed and tried to run, but she was too weak. A guard grabbed her wrist hard. Her child cried loudly, trying to pull her back. The human girl cried too, looking up at her father. "Dad, stop them, please." And he did. He placed his hand firmly on the guard's arm. "Let her go." The guard hissed, "Touch me again, and you will be punished." The father didn't remove his hand. He stood firm. He didn't shout. He didn't threaten. But his eyes held something the guards didn't expect, a strength that didn't come from power, but from conviction. "Where are you taking her?" he demanded. The shorter guard answered, "Back to labor duty. She will work until she collapses again." "It doesn't matter." The mother sobbed, "Please. My son, please." The tall guard stepped closer until his face was inches from the father's. "If she is not strong enough to work, then she is useless to the station. You cannot save everyone, human." The father replied quietly, "Maybe not. But I can save her." The guards stopped. The market fell silent. The tension grew heavy, like a storm about to break. The tall guard narrowed his eyes. "Oh, and what will you do? Fight us? Break the law? Risk your own daughter?" The father looked back at his child, then at the alien mother, and finally at the guards. He took a slow breath, then said words no one expected. "I will take responsibility for her. I will provide for her. And she will not return to your labor zones." The guards stared at him. The crowd gasped. The alien mother covered her mouth. And the little boy looked at the human father with a hope that burned brighter than anything he had felt in months. But the guards, they were not finished. Not even close. And their next move would shake the entire market. Asterisk. The market went silent after the human father's bold words. Even the wind seemed to pause. The alien mother stared at him in disbelief, her chest rising and falling quickly. She had never expected a human anyone to speak for her like that. Her child held her hand tightly, as if afraid the guards might snatch her away at any moment. The tall guard's expression darkened. "You will take responsibility?" he repeated slowly, as if testing every word. "You will provide for her? Feed her? Protect her?" The father nodded calmly. "Yes, I will." The guard clipped his tongue. "Humans are foolish." He stepped closer. "You have no idea what she has done, what she has survived, what she carries." The alien mother's eyes widened. "Don't, please," she whispered. The father noticed her fear. He crouched slightly, trying to meet her eyes. "It's okay. You can tell me." She shook her head violently. "No, they will punish you for hearing my truth." He whispered back, "I don't care about punishment. The guards watched with cold eyes, enjoying her torment. The shorter guard crossed his arms. "Go on, tell him. Tell him why you were removed from the labor zone." The alien mother's lips trembled. She looked at her child. She looked at the human girl, still holding her father's sleeve. She looked at the market crowd, waiting like hungry predators. Then she spoke softly. 3 months ago, I worked in the metal processing sector. Long hours, no rest, little food. But I did it. I did it because my son needed me. She paused, swallowing hard. One day, a machine malfunctioned. It exploded. People were injured. I tried to pull someone out, but the smoke, the heat, I collapsed. When I woke, the supervisor said I was too weak to continue. They cut my work points. They cut my food rations. They said a useless worker must leave. The father frowned deeply. Why didn't they help you recover? The guard laughed, cold and dry. No one recovers without paying for it. The mother continued, her voice breaking. My neighbors stopped speaking to me. No store wanted to sell to me. No clinic wanted to treat me. I became invisible. And then, my son became weak because I had no food to give him. She took a shaky breath. So I went to the trash areas. I searched for anything we could eat. The guards chased me away every time. They hit me once. Another time, they threatened to take my son. Her child looked down, tears gathering. The father clenched his fists. That is cruelty, not law. The tall guard leaned in close. That is survival. And you humans know nothing of our systems. The mother looked at the ground, her voice barely a whisper. I tried to leave the station. I tried to go back to my birth colony. But they said I had no travel credits. No value. No right to leave. She shook her head slowly. So today, I came here hoping someone could spare a little leftover food. Just for my child. I didn't plan to ask. I didn't plan to steal. I only looked. The father's daughter stepped forward, her small voice full of innocence. No mother should suffer like that. The mother covered her mouth, trying not to cry too loudly. But the guards weren't moved. Their eyes stayed cold. The tall guard stepped forward again. You heard her story, human. Hard life, sad life. But it changes nothing. She is still marked. And marked people do not get help. She will not be your responsibility. She belongs to the station. The father shook his head firmly. No, she belongs to no one. The shorter guard hissed. We will take her back. You cannot stop us. The father placed a protective hand on the alien boy's shoulder. You will not touch them. The guard raised his weapon slightly, not to fire, but to threaten. Do you really want to fight us? Over a worthless alien? The father looked directly into his eyes. She is not worthless. She is a mother. And I will not let you destroy her. The mother gasped softly, her eyes filling with tears again. But this time, they were not tears of fear. They were tears of hope. Several market vendors whispered, why is the human doing this? Is he crazy? Maybe humans really are different. The tall guard finally spoke with a dangerous calm. Very well. If you want to challenge the station, bring her to the commander. He decides what happens next. The father nodded. Then we will go. The alien mother pulled on his sleeve. No, the commander is cruel. He will punish you. Please don't do this. But the father only said, I'm not leaving you. And with every eye in the market watching, the guards turned sharply and began walking toward the administrative sector. The father gently lifted the alien child into his arms and held the mother's hand so she wouldn't fall. The road ahead was dangerous. The next confrontation would be worse, and the commander was known for breaking people. The walk to the administrative sector felt longer than any journey the alien mother had taken in her life. The guards marched in front, moving with hard, cold steps that echoed through the metallic halls. Behind them walked the human father, holding the alien child firmly against his chest. The little boy kept his small hands clutched around the father's shirt, afraid that if he let go, he would be taken away. The alien mother walked beside them, her steps weak, her breath shaking. Every few moments she whispered, "Please, turn back, they will punish you. This is not your fight." But the father kept walking. His calm voice answered each time, "You deserve help. That is enough for me." His daughter held her father's hand with her other hand on the alien mother's sleeve, helping her stay steady. She didn't speak much, but the warmth in her eyes gave the alien mother strength to take the next step. The hallway felt darker as they approached the commander's area. The lights flickered. People nearby moved aside quickly, not wanting to be associated with trouble. No one wanted to stand against the guards. No one wanted to be punished. The alien mother's chest tightened. She knew the commander. She knew his reputation. He had no heart, no patience, and no mercy. When they reached the heavy metal door, the tall guard pressed a code. The door slid open with a hiss, revealing a large room with a raised platform. The commander stood there, tall, sharp-eyed, and silent. His presence made the alien mother tremble instantly. He recognized her. "So," he said, walking slowly toward them, "the weak mother returns." The alien mother lowered her head. Her voice was barely audible. "I did not want to cause trouble." The commander ignored her. Instead, he turned his attention to the human father. "And you," he said with a slight smirk, "are the foolish human who thinks he can challenge station law." The father stood tall. "I am only trying to help someone who is starving." The commander's expression shifted slightly, not anger, not confusion, but something closer to amusement. He circled around them. "You think she is your responsibility now?" "Yes," the father answered firmly. The commander stopped walking. He studied the father's face for a long moment, then said, "Very well. If you wish to claim responsibility, then prove it." The alien mother's eyes widened with fear. She knew what was coming. She whispered, "No. No, please don't." But the commander raised his hand, silencing everyone. He pointed at the mother. "She has no work record, no strength, no value. She cannot support herself. She cannot support her child. So tell me, human, how will you support two aliens? How will you protect them? Feed them? Shelter them?" The father answered calmly, "With my own effort." The commander smiled coldly. "You speak with confidence. But we do not care about confidence. We care about results." He snapped his fingers. Two guards brought a metallic tablet filled with data. "This," the commander said, "is the standard survival report. Food cost, shelter cost, medical cost, labor cost. You must pay all of it. Every day. If you want to keep her." The alien mother shook her head desperately. "No, you can't. He has a daughter. He cannot pay everything for us." The father put a hand on her shoulder. "I can. You cannot." She cried, tears falling. "No one can. They are trying to break you." But the father's voice remained steady. "Then let them try." The commander narrowed his eyes. "You think you can survive this burden? Even your human salary is barely enough. You will sink within a month." "I will manage," the father replied. "You will fail," the commander spat. "Maybe," the father said softly. "But she will not die while I stand." The room went silent. Everyone stared. Even the guards blinked in surprise. The alien mother covered her mouth with both hands. She had never heard someone speak like that for her. Not her neighbors. Not her employers. Not even her own people. Only this stranger. This human father. The commander stepped closer until they were face to face. You want to protect them? Fine, but hear me clearly. His voice dropped to a dangerous whisper. If she breaks even one rule, if her child causes even one problem, if they are seen in a restricted area even once, you will suffer the punishment. The father did not blink. I accept. The alien mother almost fell to her knees. No, you cannot accept. I am not worth your safety. The human father turned to her and said gently, You are a life. That is enough. The commander clicked his tongue. Very well. They are yours now. But remember, one mistake, and your world collapses. He motioned for the guards to step away. The alien mother stared at the human father with disbelief, gratitude, and fear mixing inside her chest. She whispered, Why? Why do you do this for us? The father looked at her child, thin, tired, innocent, and he answered with a quiet voice full of truth, Because no child should suffer like this, and no mother should face it alone. The commander watched them leave, but his eyes were filled with something dangerous. He wasn't done with them. Not even close. Asterisk. When the heavy doors of the commander's office closed behind them, the alien mother felt her legs weaken. The long hallway seemed endless, cold, and frightening. But this time, she was not walking alone. The human father held her son in his arms, and his daughter gently supported her as they moved away from the guards. For the first time in months, the alien mother felt the smallest spark of safety. A fragile spark. A spark she was afraid to believe in. She whispered, Why didn't you let them take me? You don't owe me anything. The father looked at her with calm eyes. No one deserves to be treated like that. Not you. Not your child. His daughter nodded firmly. And you're our friends now. The alien mother pressed a hand over her heart. She had no word in her language for this feeling. Gratitude, hope, shock. They mixed together like sunlight breaking through a storm. Outside the administrative halls, the world felt different. People were still watching them, whispering, confused that a human had stood against the station system. Some asked questions quietly. Others shook their heads, but the father didn't care. His only focus was helping the starving mother and her boy. He guided them through the busy walkways until they reached a small transport pod. Inside, the lights were warm and soft. The alien mother's child leaned his head against the father's chest. Exhausted, the father asked gently, Do you have anywhere safe to go? She shook her head slowly. No home anymore. We lived in Sector 9, but they removed us when I could not pay rent. We sleep near the storage blocks, hiding from the cold winds. His daughter gasped. You slept outside? In the dark? The mother nodded, shame filling her voice. Yes, I held my son all night so he wouldn't freeze. The father exchanged a look with his daughter. No words needed to be spoken. The decision was already made. You will stay with us, he said. Until you are strong again. The mother froze. Her breath caught. She whispered, No. I cannot enter your home. I will cause trouble. The neighbors will accuse you. The father shook his head. I don't care what they say. The daughter added softly, You're safe with us. Tears slowly slipped down the alien mother's cheeks. She didn't try to hide them. The pod reached the residential zone. When they stepped out, the alien boy looked around with wide eyes. The buildings were tall, clean, and bright, very unlike the dirty storage blocks where they used to hide. Inside the father's small home, the warmth shocked the alien mother. The lights were soft, the furniture simple but comfortable, and a gentle smell of cooked soup filled the air. The boy reached out his hand, touching the wall as if he couldn't believe it was real. Sit, the father said kindly. You both need rest. The alien mother sat on the edge of a chair, too afraid to relax fully. Her child curled up beside her, head on her lap. The father moved to his kitchen and prepared a warm bowl of soup. He placed it in front of the mother. She stared at it for a moment, then whispered, "This is too much. You give too much." He shook his head. "It's just soup." But she knew it wasn't. It was dignity. It was hope. It was the first kind act she had received in years. As she ate slowly, tears falling with every bite, the father sat across from her. His daughter sat beside the alien child, showing him a small toy robot. The boy touched it gently, unsure. The girl smiled and pressed a button, making the robot's eyes glow. The boy gasped. Then he laughed, soft, shy, but real. The mother froze at the sound. She hadn't heard her son laugh in months. Her heart ached with joy and pain mixed together. "You're safe here," the father repeated. But peace didn't last long. A warning message suddenly flashed across his home screen. A station communication from the guard headquarters. The father stood up and opened it. A cold voice spoke through the speaker. "Human Citizen 475. This is a reminder that the alien woman and her child are under your full responsibility. Any violation, no matter how small, will result in immediate action. We will be observing." The message ended. The mother's hands shook. "I told you. They will not leave us in peace." The father turned off the screen. "They can watch. I have nothing to hide." But deep inside he knew the truth. The guards were waiting, watching, looking for a mistake. The alien mother whispered, "You risk everything for us." "Why?" He looked at her child, now smiling softly at the toy robot. "Because," he said, "you deserve a chance to live. Not just survive." The mother wiped her tears. Her voice broke as she whispered, "No one has ever said those words to me." The father replied gently, "Then let this be the first time." The night closed around them quietly. But they all knew tomorrow, the real test would begin, and the guards were planning something far worse. The next morning came quietly, but there was no peace in the alien mother's heart. She woke early, still afraid that everything around her was only a dream, that at any moment, someone would knock on the door and drag her away. For several minutes she just sat on the edge of the blanket, watching her son sleep safely for the first time in months. The home was warm. The air smelled like real food. Her child's breathing was soft and steady. Everything felt unreal. The human father came out of the kitchen, wiping his hands on a cloth. "You're up early," he said gently. She lowered her eyes. "I am not used to sleeping without fear." He understood more than she expected. "You're safe here," he said again. She swallowed. "But for how long?" "The guards will return. They will not let this end quietly." Before he could answer, the door alarm rang sharply. The alien mother gasped and jumped back, pulling her son behind her. Her heart hammered like a drum. The father held up a hand. "It's okay. Stay behind me." He opened the door. 3 guards stood outside. And behind them, the commander. The alien mother trembled violently. The commander's cold eyes scanned the home, the child, the father, the daughter. He stepped inside slowly, every movement controlled and intimidating. "So," the commander said. "You still stand with them?" The father replied calmly, "Yes." The daughter stood beside him, holding the alien boy's hand protectively. The commander folded his hands behind his back. "You were warned. I told you the station would be watching. And last night, we received a report." The alien mother's eyes widened in terror. "What report?" "We did nothing wrong." The commander stared at her. "Someone saw you entering this sector without registration. That alone is a violation." The mother collapsed to her knees. "No, please. I did not know. Please don't take my child." But before the commander could speak, the father stepped forward. "She entered with me," he said firmly. "Under my responsibility. I brought her here. If there is a violation, it is mine." The commander paused. His eyes narrowed. So you confess? The father nodded. Yes. The alien mother grabbed his leg, shaking. No, you cannot. They will punish you. The commander looked at the scene, the human child protecting the alien child. The father shielding the mother fighting tears. The boy hiding with fear in his small eyes. Something shifted in the room. Something the guards didn't understand. The commander took a step closer to the father, studying him carefully. Why? He asked quietly. One alien woman. One child. Why risk everything? The father looked at the little alien boy, then at the mother. He spoke slowly, clearly. Because I watched them suffer. Because no one helped them. Because someone needed to care. And if caring is a crime, then yes, I am guilty. The room went silent. That the alien mother cried harder. His daughter squeezed his hand. The guards shifted uncomfortably. The commander stared at him a long moment. Then, unexpectedly, he spoke softer. I have seen many humans. Traitors, soldiers, workers. But none who would risk punishment for someone outside their own kind. The father stood still. I don't help her because she's alien. I help her because she's a mother. The commander looked at the alien woman, thin, trembling, but still holding her child with every bit of strength. She had left. Then he spoke words no one expected. Her charges are dropped. The alien mother froze. She whispered, What? The commander continued, Her labor debt is cleared. Her movement restriction is removed. She and her child are free citizens of the station. The guards gasped. Even the father looked surprised. The commander turned to his men. Stand down. They obeyed instantly. The alien mother fell forward, sobbing in disbelief. Her child hugged her tightly, confused but happy. She looked up at the commander with shaking lips. Why would you show mercy? The commander didn't smile. But his voice held something different, something almost human. I did not show mercy. He showed me what mercy looks like. He nodded at the father. What he did. No law can punish. Then he turned and walked out. The guards followed him silently. The home was quiet again. The alien mother wiped her tears, still shaking. She turned to the father, her voice breaking. You saved us. You gave us food. You gave us a home. And now you gave us freedom. How can I ever repay you? The father smiled gently. You don't owe me anything. Just live, raise your son. Be safe. Her son ran to the father's daughter, laughing softly as she handed him the toy robot again. The alien mother watched them. A human child and an alien child sitting together on the floor, laughing, sharing. Existing without hate. She whispered. This is what kindness looks like. The father nodded. Double quotes in this, he said softly, is what humanity means. The story ended with the four of them sharing a simple warm meal, 2 families, 2 species, but one bond. A bond created not by blood, but by a human heart that refused to stay silent.